Welcome to our Release 2018.8 webinar. In this webinar, we will be completing two demonstrations. The first demonstration will cover how duties are generated from working patterns. We'll also be looking at the new branches and areas filter within the CRM module. Now, for a brief outline of these features in 18.8. For users for whom in-depth scheduling is not required, a new functionality has been added to ensure that service duties can be generated based on the employee's working pattern that's created within their record. A new branch and area account filter has been added to the CRM module, which will help make finding an account's record quicker and easier when linking the account to an applicant or a lead's record. And now, onto our first demonstration. On PeoplePlanner and CareBlocks version 2, it is currently possible to generate the weekly duties or shifts by setting up a service requirement based on that service user's or a department's requirement. Now, it is also possible to set a recurring rota based on the employee's working pattern rather than the requirement for a service user or for a department. To utilize this feature, it must be switched on by a support analyst or consultant. To check whether this feature has been switched on, come to Settings, Other, Modules and Function, Planning. You can then check whether generating shifts from working pattern is unticked, which means that this feature is currently switched on. Once this feature has been switched on, we must ensure that we have created an availability type for working patterns. In order to do so, we'll come to Settings, HR, Employee, and Availability Types. Using the plus button, we will describe this as working pattern. The type will remain as available. We'll tick working pattern type. We want our working patterns to generate as shifts within the rostering screen, so we'll tick generate shifts. When these shifts are generated in the rostering screen, we can ensure that the description of these shifts match the role. Clicking into the service drop down, I would like to generate these shifts here as a healthcare assistant on an early shift. Once this has been configured, we'll click Save. Once we have created our working pattern, we will need to ensure that when these shifts are generated within the rostering screen, that these shifts are assigned to a default bill payer and a default service location or department. In order to do so, we're going to come to the Settings area, Other, and Company. In the Company area, we'll select Homes or Branches. We'll then select the relevant home or branch. Clicking on the Units area, we will then select the relevant unit. In this area, we'll then assign the area or the unit to the relevant department or resident. We'll also assign the department or resident. We will also assign a default bill payer or funder. Click Save. Once the configuration has been completed, we can now set up the working patterns within our employee's record. Coming onto Home, we'll come to HR, Employee, and Find. In this area, I will select the correct employee's name. I'll click on the Availability option and the quick links. In the Working Patterns area, I will use the plus button and begin to complete our working pattern. In this example, the employee Dale is available between the hours of 9 and 5, and that typically covers the shifts that they will complete in the office between 9 and 5. Once the configuration has been made within the Settings area, and the working pattern has been configured in the employee's record, we can now generate our planning weeks in order to bring across the working pattern as a duty within planning. To demonstrate this, we're going to come to Rostering, Generation and Shifts. In this area, I will generate my next rostering week using the plus button and save. Once this week has been generated, the working pattern configured against the employee's record will now be brought across into the rostering area as a shift. Going into the rostering screen on the rostering, shift and planning, once the relevant planning week has been generated, the system will create the working pattern entered against the employee's record within the screen as ad hoc shifts. These ad hoc shifts cannot be deleted and they cannot be reallocated as they were created from the working pattern within an employee's record. You can, however, cancel the ad hoc shifts if required. And now for a second demonstration within the CRM area. In CRM, when assigning an account to a lead or an applicant, the option to filter via branch and area was not previously available. In our 18.8 release, we've introduced the option to filter by branch and area when adding an account to a lead or an applicant. To demonstrate this, we're going to come to CRM, Lead, and New. Going into the Leads record, we'll come to the Account tab. In here, you can see that we can now utilize the multiple home and unit to bring up the record for the account or the contact associated with that home or that unit. Thank you for watching.